I didn't know you. But the worse it was, in terms of, just being outrageous and ridiculous, the more Baba enjoyed it, of course. And I'm sure he enjoyed Marvin's too. That was an excellent sheep, I must say. I've never actually seen anyone do a sheep as well as it's the only one I've seen, but it was excellent.
It was a pathetic sheep. I said it was a pathetic sheep.
Oh, thank you. I feel like you've heard enough from me, but here we are, one more time around. Actually, Dennis has not heard enough, so I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Tell us everything you said.
Yeah, we'll start from the start, from the top. Yeah. Roundabout.
You're giving your airfare?
Yes. But you're giving my airfare. You see, that's the trick. I could. Now, you might, Elizabeth, well ask. You didn't, but let's say you did ask. Why didn't, Charles, you just give it directly to the clinic? Instead of eating your food like this, Charles, aren't you eating your food like this? And that would be an excellent question.
Well, it didn't cross my mind.
But since you didn't ask, I can tell you that I don't know that this is a good method, but it does give me an opportunity to mention the clinic.
Oh, that's good.
And actually, in LA and in New York and places like that, it reminds people this is an opportunity to support the clinic. And people, there's so many wonderful things to support in Baba's family, and we all, want to try to support Baba's work. So it's not a competition, but of course the clinic is not on everyone's radar. So I think this is one way to get it in front of people and remind people. And we actually have a Facebook page now. We're high tech, and we have a website, Mayor Fund. Mayor Fund was founded many years ago, and it started with Don Stevens giving some money, and it's turned into an organization that has just one purpose only: support the clinic in India. So it transformed from giving to different Baba things to we're just going to support the clinic in India. It's very simple. Our board meetings, therefore, are very simple. We just think about how better to raise awareness and support for the clinic in India. So it's very simple. And therefore, we have a lot of harmony. Because we don't have any decisions. So we meet once a year at the center. So if you want to be on this board, it's a nice board to be on. And we just talk about how much we love Dr. Go here, how much we want to see her love and service continue. And that's just it's such a privilege, it's an honor. I told Bob Aarons, my old friend, that he's a doctor, and as many of you know, and a longtime lover of Baba's, and we knew each other at Harvard, and he, about 100 years ago, and I told him when he asked me, he said, Charles, I want you to be on this thing, because he was the one that revolutionized Mayor Fund and turned it from being scattered and having all this money in the bank that wasn't doing anything to giving it all to the clinic, which is a great thing. So he said, I want you to come and help raise money. And I said, I can't do that. I don't have your skills. I can't do this. And so Bob said, nonsense, you can do it. So I said, all right, for you, I'll try. So it's interesting because it's turned out it's not raising money at all. It's such a beautiful thing. It's helping people to get health care who would not otherwise have health care. And I feel so privileged to be a part of that. Then I remembered, after I joined and we started doing this, I remembered my conversations with Dr. Go here years ago. How many of you met Dr. Go here? Many of you, so you have your image in your mind. I don't know about you, but for me, what comes to me when I think of Dr. Go here is the incarnation of humility. The incarnation of humility. She was extraordinary and in her humility. And so I asked her about giving to the clinic when I was first going to India after Baba left the body. I said, well, can we help? And she said, no, sweet, no, no, you don't know. So that's fine, it's fine. I said, no, but Doctor, I want to help. You know, there's the trust is there and all that, but it was separate from the trust, you see. And at that time, it was supported by Arnavas, and it was supported by Mani, who got money from Ben Haman's estate as a beneficiary. And so they didn't want to compete with anything else, they just wanted to go here. So she went over there and she took care of the people at this clinic, you see, like she cared, of course, for Baba. She was Baba's doctor, as you know. And everyone who came in, when I sat there and watched everyone who came in, it was like Baba coming in. She had the same care and compassion and touch for these people, you know, who had lined up because there was no place to go. And even if they had a place somewhere near their village, they would bypass and keep going to come here. It wasn't because it was free, it was because it was love and compassion. And so, you know, she would, and she would talk to them and care for them, and it was like seeing her with Baba. So touching. So that's why I was moved to say, I didn't volunteer like some of you may have at the clinic so much, but I just was looking, and I said, can we help? You know, support. And she said, no, sweet, it's fine now. She said, but one day Baba will let you know when you can help. And see, then when Mani died, that money stopped. They didn't say a thing. But there's the clinic. And now it had expanded. Now it's even a bigger one. They built a new thing. And now 20,000 people come every year to get health care. Free, completely free health care. And do you know what it costs to give health care to one patient? This means diagnose and give medication, tests, you know, whatever the average patient will need for a visit, to come a patient visit, $4.50. So when I contribute $5, I have already taken care of a patient. It's extraordinary because they can do so much with so little at this clinic. And but the love and the compassion that the people there show for each person is like exactly the same as Go Here did, because she trained many of these people. So that's why I feel so fortunate, and I'm grateful to you, because by inviting me, that gives me a way to share about the clinic, but also to give something to the clinic. And such a great thing. I actually brought a picture of Go Here, and the only one I could put my hands on the moment is one with Mother, which is appropriate because I've been talking about my mother so much. So those of you who didn't meet either one of them, you can get a sense, and I'll pass it around. So Go Here embracing my mother, and you can just tell from her face, if you did not meet her, exactly who she was. Because of time, I shouldn't talk more about Go Here, but I'll just say one more thing, because I hadn't planned to say any of this about her, but I asked her, you know, how was it? And many of you probably asked her this too, you know. But she didn't give talks, she didn't sit in the hall, you know, she didn't sit on the porch and tell stories. She would say, you know, I have no stories, I have no story. Means, you know, she didn't feel she could tell stories, you know. And so I cornered her one day and I said, Dr. Go Here, I said, how was it to treat Baba as a doctor? To be the doctor to the avatar? How did you feel? I mean, how did you treat him? What did you do? And she said, you have no idea how hard it was. She said, I told Baba, I said, Baba, Baba, I don't know, I'm not, I have not practiced in a long time, Baba, I don't know, there are many doctors who know more about this. I want you. Oh, but Baba, there's some specialist there, there's this. So what could I do? I didn't, I cared for him and all that, and what would he do? He would be, how he was, he'd be sick and that, and I'd give him this and I'd give him that and all that. Oh. I said, Baba, what can I do? And Baba said, never mind. I said, it's my work, but you must do your best to heal me. But don't worry what happens. That's my work. You must do your best. So what could I do? I gave him this medicine and that and all that. He wasn't getting better and all that. So I said, Baba, we must have some doctors come and all that, specialists come. Baba, please. And I pleaded. So finally Baba said, all right, bring, all right. So they called in this particular time. They called the specialist from Bombay and all that, and he came, this big hullabaloo and long journey and all that. So long story short, he arrives. Baba, has been very ill, and Gohir is very worried. She's not been able to help him. So this doctor comes, and Baba's in Mandalay Hall. The doctor comes in. Doctor, I don't know if it was Dr. Bindi, I've forgotten which doctor. The old-time Baba lover. He was Baba was in seclusion. He was weeping. He was so happy to see Baba after all this time. No one was seeing Baba. And he just, oh, Baba. He was so happy. Baba said, I'm so happy to see you. And then Baba says, yes, and now, how was the journey? How did you come? Oh, yes, Baba. We drove very quickly. Have you eaten? Yes, Baba. We had something. That's good. Yeah. And how's your health? How are you feeling? Your health? And Gohir was sitting over there saying, I call this man to treat Baba, and Baba's treating him. Baba's asking all about his health and all. Baba, Gohir said, Baba said, she said, Charles, you wouldn't believe it. Baba, he looked so good. He looked in the pink of health. And this doctor, he kept saying, Baba, I'm this, my family, that, and Gohir's, oh, come on, Baba, come on. And then he leaves the room and takes Gohir aside and says, so it was wonderful to see Baba. Why did you call me? He's looking so good. And she said, you see, Charles, how it was. She said, what could I do? What could I do? So she said, I did what I could do. She said, I know nothing. I have no skill. I have nothing, but he wanted it, so what could I do? But of course, anyone who spent any time with her knew exactly why she was doing what she was doing. And then when you saw her after Baba left the body, go over to that clinic to continue healing without any concern for result, but giving it to him, then one saw really the spiritual life in action and God in action. I mean, it was something. So it's the one thing that I want to, because of what she asked me. It wasn't Bob Aarons after all. I realized it was Gohir who asked me to one day that Baba would let me know. And whether I think I can raise money or not is irrelevant. It's that Baba wants me to try for this clinic. So thank you for being a part of that and for letting me share. I actually have a few of these things. Most things are on the web now, but we actually printed up a little brochure about the clinic. So anyone who's particularly interested, you can see, because it has a lovely picture of the clinic and all that. So.